here with us. We are presenting our report over 2 successful but very challenging years. While it is called IASIO report, it simply would not exist were it not for all of you present here today. At the outset, therefore, we wish to share the success contained in this report with all of you. We believe our role is to help make a difference to people referred to us. We believe that change in offending behaviour is difficult but possible. But what does making a difference look like? It's 4 things. It's about understanding, it's about change, it's about fostering hope, and it's about working together. All of those components together help us to move offenders from the position of offending to reduction in recidivism and hopefully to employment and independent economic understanding of what their role is in the community other than offending behaviour. We're also extremely conscious that while we're talking about our success in relation to ex-offenders, we're very conscious about the issues and problems there is in the victims of crime also. And in some way we hope to have addressed that in our report. And there are real fears in rural Ireland around that, and we recognise that. However, we would hope that overall the work that we do is contributing to the community safety that is so important that the Gardaí, the Probation Service, Prison Service and many other state agencies are collectively involved in trying to make communities safer. If we believe in change is possible for all of us on the coalface, and all of us that are working face to face with offenders or at management level have to believe that change is possible. It's also difficult, and our clients face multiple personal challenges such as addiction, health issues and other problems around their economic situations and their problems. Introducing hope into the lives of people who may have lost theirs is a matter of addressing the reasons that make hope difficult. It is a matter of identifying the barriers that each individual client experiences and then working with that person to overcome them. Thankfully, hope is incremental. As each barrier or personal difficulty is addressed, however slowly, to grow, and then our clients can begin to imagine alternatives, what they might become. Our aim is to foster hope with the person and the belief that change is possible, and then work with them to effect that change. One of the examples of that is the changing course which we developed, and it's contained in our biennial report. As I stated from the outset, working together is extremely important, and we are only one part of the equation. And this is evidenced by our attendance here today, from a cross-section, so many cross-sections of the criminal justice sector and other NGOs. How we work together is therefore extremely important. It's essential, and we're very fortunate to be working with such professional people as the Probation Service and their staff, the Prison Service and their staff. And in that regard, our sincere thanks has to go to Vivian Guerin, the Director of the Probation Service, and Michael Dunn, Director General of the Prison Service, who have consistently supported IASIO through its funding. And we hope that we have provided the added value they expected from us through the funding they gave us, and we believe we are providing a good return on their investment. So you can see from the many agencies and people worth acknowledging what a complex way of criminal justice practice is, and why we must recognise that how we work together and collaborate together is part of the answer as to how we successfully affect change with our clients. In an ideal world, successful criminal justice intervention for an offender means leaving the criminal justice system behind. It means supporting that person, or better still, that person supporting themselves with their own employment, and their families, of course. We can hold that up as the ideal. However, and unfortunately, the reality is much more different. Our clients are complicated, and they live under multiple disadvantages, and an offending identity making trust an issue. And for even the most stable of them, the criminal convictions can and do act against them, especially when seeking employment, or even a training course, or a college place. And then there is a challenge of accessing mainstream services with these advantages, which is obviously particularly acute when leaving prison. Our clients represent a distinct set of needs, which if not understood, can exacerbate the already challenging task of stable reform and resettlement. We have many such examples in IASIO, whereby clients' access to the services that can make a difference, for example housing or welfare, are unduly hampered. For these reasons, Minister, IASIO strongly supports the development of joined-up service delivery and referral protocols among the services that are relevant to people in the criminal justice system. In particular, we strongly support the Spent Convictions Bill, because those who have made genuine efforts to put their offending behaviour behind them should be given a second chance. and we acknowledge and very much welcome your efforts to bring this bill into legislation this year. Yet, even if we manage to create the most difficult, inefficient, interlocking system of supports and service delivery, there would still be something missing. There is an over-reliance on the criminal justice services to manage ex-offenders in the community. And when criminal justice services start to recede, because they will end at some point, we need ordinary people in the communities to embrace and take ownership of resettlement and reintegration. It requires everybody taking some level of responsibility. Local government and state agencies have a very obvious part, as do the media, in terms of properly portraying the issues rather than trading on fears. But it also depends on employers, community groups, community leaders, sporting bodies, and even individuals. Everyone has a part to play in creating successful outcomes for our clients. IASIO's role in helping to make community safe is clear and highlighted in the 2013 and 2014 Biennial report. Finally, for our part in the future, we will always try to understand and learn more about our individual clients' needs and their specific problems. We will continue to make change to improve our services and be flexible as required to meet the needs of the probation service and the Irish Prison Service. We will never lose hope, and we will continue to foster the same hope in our clients and in our communities. And we will continue to work with all other agencies and services to meet our common objectives of making communities safer for everyone to live in. Finally, I am very, very proud of the staff of IASIO who have made all of our outcomes so successful. I would like to thank for their crucial role and support our Board of Directors, Pat Lynch, all of our board members who are here today, and our funding representatives that who are also here. Every one of them have a huge contribution to make, and that is our objective, is to make communities safer. I thank you for taking the time out, and it's very much appreciated, I can assure you. Thank you.